15-year-old American, the new leader of the U.S. team? Isabeau Levito has already overcome puberty and is learning super jumps. The figure skating season has quietly started. 2 small tournaments have already been held in the USA, Lake Placid Ice Dance Internationals and Philadelphia Summer Internationals. And the second one is definitely worth paying attention to. Philadelphia Summer showed that an athlete has appeared in American skating who will definitely impose a fight on the former leaders. Isabeau Levito won the Junior World Championship in the spring, overtaking Korean Ju Shin by 0.54 points. Levito is in many ways a product of the Russian school. She is trained by Yulia and Vyacheslav Kuznetsov, Jana Pelagina, Yevgeny Platov. Otar Chaparidze also works with Isabeau. Levito's trumps are super stability, no falls at all, and cascades in the second half. Levito had just left the juniors and won the first senior tournament. Yes, this is a local start at the beginning of the season, not even a challenger, but it's not about significance and not about the composition of the participants. Isabeau showed a competitive form and readiness for progress. She easily made a combination of triple Lutz, triple Ritberger in the second half of the short program and 3 combinations in the second half of the free program. Almost everything is clean. I was only embarrassed by 2 blots on the triple Lutz Euler triple Salchow cascade. An obscure rib was placed on the Lutz, and more than a quarter was under-rotated on the Salchow. Last season, Levito got this element for a positive go in almost every tournament. And in general, stability is her strong point. Isabeau, in fact, does not make mistakes, and there have been no falls in her entire competitive career. At least, at those starts from which the videos and protocols have been preserved. Separate applause Levito plucked for the music for the new productions. In her free program, Yevgeny Doga's waltz from the movie My Sweet and Gentle Beast was performed. Sasha Cohen skated to the Salt Lake City Games in 2002 to this song, only she had a version without vocals. Isabeau's short program this season was staged under Una Noche Mas by Israeli singer Yasmin Levy. 3 years ago, Alina Zagatova skated to the music of Levi, Do You Remember Me Voy? Levito's goal is at least 2 Ultra C, Axel and toe loop. There was already an attempt. Isabeau's relative weakness is the content. She owns a triple Lutz triple loop combination, but without polished Ultra C. However, this is potentially enough to get into the lead of the national team. At Skate Milwaukee last summer, there was an attempt at a quadruple toe loop. Isabeau did not turn half a turn, touched the ice with her knee, but survived, and did not declare more quads. Last season, coach Yulia Kuznetsova mentioned that in addition to the quadruple toe loop, they are working on a triple axel, but they don't force the preparation. We are focused on her growing up. I don't want Isabeau to skate until puberty and then retire. I want her to skate for a very long time, Kuznetsova said. And puberty has already arrived. In March 2022 Levito turned 15, and since the beginning of last year she has grown by 11 centimeters. But, judging by the season, Isabeau and the coach found a way to keep in shape even with all the changes in the body. Another potential trump card of Isabeau is high components, at least at the level of the national team. In terms of total rentals, she gets the second rating with an average of 93.8 points. Only Mariah Bell, she scores over 100 points, Karen Chen, 99.69, and Levito is minimally behind Amber Glenn, 94.88, are higher. At international competitions, the situation is certainly different. There the leaders get 105 points, but we are not talking about the world top in the debut season, at least with the current content. Isabeau is notable for its lightness, precision, ballet plastique. They work on it separately with Jana Pelagina, musicality and stability. This is a solid base to build up the second score. Last season, still a junior, Levito participated in the U.S. Adult Championship. She won bronze, losing only to Karen Chen and Mariah Bell. But then Alice Liu and Amber Glenn withdrew from the tournament due to COVID. Brady Tennell did not come due to a leg injury. All of them could potentially overtake Isabeau. Let's look at the alignment in the US team in a different way. Right now, Isabeau Levito is the most consistent skater on the team. She has one of the highest component scores. And she is also the only one who confidently owns combinations of 3 Lutz 3 Rittberger and triple Lutz, Euler, triple Salcho. She consistently performs them in the second half of the program, gaining almost 3 points with bonuses. There are enough prerequisites for leadership in the national team. Alice Liu retired. Amber Glenn and Lindsay Thorngren, who have triple axels intermittently, skate unreliably and, with errors, average less than Levito without the axle. Mariah Bell is also unstable and lacks Ultra C elements. Thanks to the technique score, Levito compensates for the lag in the components and averages the same amount as Bell. And this is if you focus on her junior program, that is, on content without a choreographic track in an arbitrary one. Another strong and experienced opponent is Brady Tennell, but she missed most of last season due to injury. Now, judging by the social networks, Brady has recovered and is ready to perform, but it is still very difficult to assess her form. The season before the break was not the most successful for her. At each tournament, in each rental, several under rotations came out. Prior to that, from time to time she tried to complicate the programs due to the cascade of triple Lutz, triple Rittberger, but she only performed it clearly twice, and that was 4 years ago. Levito skates are harder and cleaner. Karen Chen has the same under-rotation problem. In the past 2 seasons, she has missed at least a third of her jump elements at every start. Sometimes Karen compensates for mistakes with a high second mark, but more often she does not score even 200 points in total. In addition, this season, Chen, apparently, is not expected at the Grand Prix. So far, she has not been entered for any stage, although, perhaps, she will get an empty seat at Skate America. This autumn for Isabeau Levito is a time to gain experience in international tournaments and be remembered by the judges. She has been nominated for the UK and US Grand Prix. In Norwood, Isabeau will meet the reigning world champion Kaori Sakamoto and the Koreans Haeun Lee and Yong Jong Pak. They are the most dangerous rivals, but with clean skates it is quite possible to get close to the top 3. Yes, and at the British Grand Prix, Levito does not have a deadly competition. In Sheffield, she will compete with Mai Mihara, Brady Tennell, Yu Yong, and Anastasia Gubanova.